This Saturday, the real deal, Evander Holyfield.
It's not a game.
MMA powerhouse Vitor Belfort.
It's gonna be a war.
Legends 2, this Saturday on pay-per-view.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Marcos Villegas here from behind the camera with the real deal, Mr. Evander Holyfield, who's set to fight Vitor Belfort this weekend, and your return in a very, very long time. Evander, first off, man, how are you feeling coming into this? I know this was very last minute.
Well, I feel good. I don't have no concerns.
When did you find out that you're going to be subbed in for Oscar De La Hoya?
When they asked me about it, and they asked me, would I fight, because the other guy that I was going to fight wasn't going to fight me, so it's easy to go on into it.
How many days ago was it?
A week.
A week ago?
3 days. Wait, 3 or 4 days.
So most people would have been like, nah, that's not enough time. You know, why did you feel that, regardless of the opponent change, like you were game for it?
It's real. I've been training for 2 years, and the person that I'm fighting is, I've been doing it longer than he's been doing it.
Looking at the opponent, Vitor Belfort, have you had a chance to look at the skills that he has? Did you see him by chance work out yesterday? Like, what do you make of the skills he possesses?
It's not so much about the other person. It's the confidence I have in me, and me being able to function properly and win.
He's a guy that has a lot of knockout power. Like he has the most knockouts in the UFC ever. And, he's a southpaw. Is that any sort of complications at all? I know you fought everybody in your boxing career, but do you think that could be complicated given the short amount of time?
Not really, because the fact of the matter, I'm a boxer, and he's the MMA guy. And, I'm it's just like me getting down on the ground with him. I wouldn't do that. But I'm telling you, it takes a lot of heart and a lot of courage to make the transition to fight somebody in something that this is what they do. Boxing is what I do.
Oscar, unfortunately, got COVID, wasn't able to, participate in this. What did you make of when you heard the news about Oscar?
Well, the fact is, I'm telling people get sick. This is what happens to everybody. I just wish them well, And the fact is that I don't know how it got to me, because you wouldn't think it would just jump to me.
Yeah, it was kind of random. It took everybody by surprise. Did it even take you by surprise?
Sure.
Yeah. Looking at Vitor, he doesn't have the most clean past. For a time in his UFC career, even though he had a doctor's exemption, he was on testosterone replacement therapy. Not sure of the status of the drug testing for this fight. Are you aware of Vitor's past, and what do you make of that?
People fall short in different areas in their life and stuff like that. I'm just happy that I don't have nothing like that. So you do your best.
So there's no concern at all that he can maybe be back on that stuff coming into this fight?
I don't think of the evil things that what one could do, because that's what you call fear. I'm always to do my very best.
Even at this age, Evander, I'm seeing that you're supremely confident in what you've done and the skills you possess in this, right? There's no doubt in your mind, or is there some questions there coming into this fight?
Well, only if you allow yourself to do that. It's up to me to allow myself to be afraid. I'm talking at any given time, anything. Whether I know how to do it or not. The Bible said, "Fear not." It's up to you to fear. It's a choice. It's not that you have to, but in a situation, when it comes down, when you really want to do something real well, fear is just right there like that, ready to catch you if you heed to it.
You know, what would you say to the people that are a bit worried of you coming into this fight, seeing that your age and you haven't fought in a very, very long time? Because I know you as a figure, as a boxing figure, you're very endeared to by fans.
Well, I mean, you know, I can understand. You know, I can understand. You know, it's like it's always going to be somebody older than somebody in this life. You're never going to be the youngest, and you're never going to be the oldest. And so you have an example on both sides. That, you know, if you don't pay attention and you don't know you well, to can you do this at this time or not? You know what I'm saying? You know, when you're young, you make mistakes, and when you're older, you make mistakes. Sometimes people forget about when you get older. But you know, you have a choice to make. You know, it's a choice you have to make, and you have to be honest with yourself. When honesty comes from yourself, then you ain't gonna do nothing to prove a lot of people wrong.
Mm-hmm. Even at 58, you're saying, you know, being honest with yourself. You know, obviously you're not a young cat anymore. You know, like you were before. You know, given that, like, do you feel that this is like a one-time thing? Like, even you yourself, are you just kind of seeing like where you want to go with this, or what do you want to do with it?
Well, I'm telling you, everything is one time. Because after you do it, then you get a chance to make a decision. Do you want to do it again or not? You know, and that's what life is about. That's how goals are, you know. My mama just always told me and said, you know what? You make better decisions when you win, though. You can't quit if you lose. you know, if you choose not to do it after you win, then you know you're making a good decision.
How would you compare this fight week to others in the past? I mean, it's been a little over a decade since you've done this, but are you getting those like old-fashioned feelings again? It's fight week. Does it feel similar? Does it feel different than the past?
Well, you know, actually, it felt good. For the point of the matter, you know, when they talk about Good Morning America, I know I hadn't did that in so doggone long. I said, look, what? Good Morning America? You're like, you know, I'm saying, but it didn't get me away from understanding who I am. And, you know, but it was all about publicity to get people to come. You know, you have to put the guy out there who gonna bring the people.
So this fight right now, this return, is not about legacy anymore, right?
No.
What is your goal right now?
My goal is to do a good job. That's it. My goal is to do a good job. When, you know, when I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my strength. That's what you're gonna get from me.
When did Vitor Belfort got into radar to actually be like somebody that you put face on boxing?
Well, you know, I don't even know him. You know, I don't even know him. So, you know, the fact of the matter is that this thing came about, and I'm like, I'm looking out for my safety. That helps, you know, what is the thing about? It's just boxing. Okay, then, you know, one thing I know, I can keep from getting hurt in boxing because I know how to cover up. That's it. I know I cover up. So that's the art of the game is.
He only had one boxing fight in his whole career. He was a knockout artist in MMA. How do you see him as your opponent?
Well, I don't even think about it because my whole thing, I have to think about what I do. Anytime I get too caught up worrying about somebody else, I'm like, you know, I'm liable if something might happen to me. Now, he got to worry about himself, I got to worry about myself. That's it.
So building upon that, Evander, I know there's been a lot of talk about the concerns and everything, but you had your media workout yesterday. You know, people are in the sport, the fans, they're a little judgy, and the concerns were kind of elevated a little bit more. Can you talk about that and sort of the reaction to the workout and how you felt about it?
Well, I don't actually look at that as a workout. I did some of the things that showed me I can do this, I can do that. I don't know if they thought it was good or bad. And so it really don't make no difference because, you know, the night of the fight, that would count.
We we are in a time where, like, you know, boxers are facing YouTubers. We have MMA guys like going into the rings. How do you see this new time for boxing?
Well, it's the way people make money. You know, I'm like, if you throw me out $20–30 million to fight somebody I can win, I said, why not? Why not get that money? It's like, you know, my whole thing is that, you know, is it sometime in your life where that you got so much money you won't get the other, especially if you could do it. But you got to be in shape to be able to do it. The whole thing, I kind of feel that in my life, I always took care of myself and all that. And this is an added thing when I talk to kids. Look, hey, take care of yourself, you know what? As you know, at some point in time, something's gonna jump up and you're gonna be the only one to be able to do it. I'm telling you, that's the whole big point of taking care of yourself. I'm telling you, what's the point of taking care of yourself and you ain't gonna have the advantage over nobody? Just taking care of yourself.
My last question is, you say you don't know Vitor, right? What do you know about him?
Well, I know that he's a tough guy, and I know that I wouldn't get in with him if we had to do the MMA. I wouldn't do that. I seen him kicking people. I wouldn't take a chance because I know I am not gonna win. I like winning. I'm telling you, the art of the game is winning. What do you know? I'm talking. Everybody got specialists. You know, if they play your game, you're supposed to beat them. But you play their game, you know, there's a chance they're gonna beat you too. So but that's what sports is all about. You know, what kind of chance you willing to take to prove that you're the best?
Is the Tyson fight still on your radar? You can make it happen?
I'm talking, if it can happen, you know, the point of the matter, if it can happen, I'm willing to do it, but if not, you know, I'm not gonna lose anything.
Is there anyone else like that interests you in coming out and having the fight?
Well, not really, but you know, you never know. You may say something and somebody else, I'm like, you know, if I feel that I can win, then this is what this is what things are about, challenge. I'm telling you, you know, it's up to you to challenge somebody. You know, it ain't nobody, somebody to make you do something. I'm just, you know, this is a challenge and I feel good about the challenge. Okay, then that's what I would do. But I'm not gonna go in nothing that I don't feel that I'm gonna win.
What do you make of former President Donald Trump's association here in this event? I know you had a fight with George Foreman that was on pay-per-view, that the details and the deal of that got all switched around because he couldn't come up with his contractual obligations. What do you make of him being a part of this event and calling the fight ringside?
Well, you know, when it comes to me, it's a fight, and Donald Trump was the guy that put on the biggest shows back in I guess the 80s, and you know, and when Atlantic City was almost bigger than Vegas. Donald Trump, that guy, and he put on big fights, and I fought there, and you know, he's been the president. I'm saying, you know, it's the respect that you had to have for the people who have done a good job.
So there's no ill will there because the terms of the deal were changed?
Well, I don't, you know, I'm getting what promised to me, and so you know, my whole thing, I look out for my deal. This is a deal for me, and if it's fine with me, then I'm not really worried about what everybody else is, because I'm sure they have somebody negotiating for them. I have somebody negotiating for me, and I'm happy with the people I have.
All right. Hey, Evander, it's always great seeing you. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Hub TV, and give us a follow online as well at Fight Hub TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.